Baby back ribs. Look at those nooks and crannies. The color is incredible, right? You see that amber from smoke every now and again, but just the Lipton really did the work.
Lipton's secret.
Yeah, the Lipton's not so secret. Let's go ahead and get this fire started. Today we're using the Big Joe 2, one of my favorite grills. All right, let's go ahead and fill that firebox about 25 to 35% full of big block charcoal. Next thing we're gonna do is light that fire starter, create a little cave. Make sure you put that fire starter in the bottom of the pile so that it has access to the fuel source. Heat rises. We're gonna use a little culinary common sense to get this thing started.
Say that it climbs.
It does, right? Because anyway, heat rises. Far too many times do I see online people lighting their grills by putting their fire starters on top of the coal pile and trying to let it climb down, right? As we know, fire doesn't do that very well. It does it, but it doesn't do it very well or very efficiently. So let's light that fire pile, charcoal tongue twister.
Say that 5 times.
I can't even say it once. Let's just light it from the bottom. All right, trust me. I get hit up all the time. What's my favorite, baby back or St. Louis style? Used to be St. Louis style because as a restaurant guy, the fat content would always help. Yeah, well, this is a 4-pound baby back. I mean, that's half the freaking loin on there. You know, that and a little gash there in the silver skin. That's okay. We do want to peel this off, but I like baby backs more these days because they cook quicker. Now this is a 4-pounder, but 4 pounds of St. Louis style versus 4 pounds of baby back. You're almost talking twice the time for the St. Louis because all that fat content. There's more fat in the this is coming from the loin section, the baby back is, so it's leaner than the St. Louis style. When you have to break down all that collagen and turn it to gelatin in the St. Louis, it just takes longer, okay? So I love baby backs for how quick we can do them, a little bit higher temperature. But let's get that silver skin off. I'm just gonna use this serrated utility knife, which I like to cut ribs with a serrated knife, and just make a little pocket right on top of one of those ribs. Just kind of walk it through. This is the elastin. This never breaks down, so it's nice to get that off of there. You don't want to serve this to your loved ones. And we're also allowing the smoke and the seasoning to penetrate from the bottom side of the ribs now, whereas if you have this protective layer, it's just not going to go through that. Nobody wants to eat that. There's a couple of maintenance issues we got to work on here. If you see any of these little flaps, those are great little snacks, but they're gonna burn up. Okay, so we're gonna take that off and layer that. I might even clean up this last end rib. This isn't competition barbecue by any means, but just they're gonna burn up, or aka over caramelize. And that's a nice looking rack of ribs. So today, a little bit of a trick, a little bit of a cheat. It's not really a cheat, right? I mean, it's delicious, it works. I want to use Lipton dip mix mixed with a little bit. It's salty, it's big bold flavor, it's onion forward. It's just it's a little thing. I'm a closet eater of this stuff. It's a little embarrassing, but I just want to share with you. It is a fantastic seasoning for some ribs. So we're gonna take it, and it's got these chunky kind of oniony parts. It just looks fun already, you know. Nice even coverage, and it is a lot of fun, but it's salty, it's savory, but it needs a little bit of sweet heat. So today I've chosen Lane's Barbecue Honey Sriracha.
Uh-oh. The food police are calling because of Lipton's.
Let's just see. No, I better not be. Oh my gosh. Hey, big girl. Hey, can I call you right back? Nathan and I are shooting a recipe video. You're headed to school. Okay, good job. A sore throat at the beginning of the morning, but now we're good. I'm proud of you for going to school. Good job, good job. She was faking it. I knew it. You know, you got a 9-year-old, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Anyways, back to it. Salty, savory, sweet, heat. You know, and this is going to caramelize as we cook just a little bit. It's got dehydrated butter, dehydrated honey, dehydrated sriracha. This is one of the most fun seasoning combinations I know. Honey sriracha and the Lipton dip mix. Let's go ahead and get that other side as well. You can let this tack up if you want to, but I'm just gonna use my hands and put a little positive pressure on there. Seasoning the ribs is always a good thing to do while you're letting your fire come to temperature. So if you're not quite there, we've still got, you know, 5-10 minutes to let that seasoning start to do its thing. The salt, the osmosis, we get into that quite a bit. You're just really letting it tack up, and it's gonna stay on throughout the entire cook. Christmas come early today, team. I love new heat deflectors. So I look at this as almost a new accessory, right? If you use your grill as much as I do, those deflector shields just get dirtied up with drippings and stuff. I see people wrapping them foil. I'm just not that methodical. So any opportunity to get a new deflector shield over the course of the year, I absolutely love it. It's a fun first cook for these beauties, and we're going to dirty them up nice. But before we add them in there, I want to get our wood smoke, our big chunk going on in there. And we've got a good raging fire. I want to agitate that too, but I've chosen hickory today. Let's see if we can sneak one of these beauties out there. Nice seasoned wood. That's what we like. I want to go ahead and drop these beautiful new deflector shields in. You can use a glove if you like. We're going to place our grill grates in the highest portion of the divide and conquer system. And we're going to stabilize at 325 to 350 degrees. Now, as you'll notice, I might be in a minority here, but I start meat side down on my ribs. And the reason I do that is because I want to begin the caramelization process. I want to start, again, all that fat that's on there. I want that collagen to turn to gelatin. I want to love the way the presentation side of the rib looks before I then flip it and get the rest of the smoke on the bottom side. It's been 45 minutes. Let's take a look. Look at that. Stunning. That's the caramelization we want. That onion aroma in the air. My goodness. I do want a dry baste on top with that honey sriracha just to continue the caramelization on top. Let's shut the dome and look back at another 45. So I've got a little more time before we wrap, but first thing we need to do is make the glaze. Crushed pineapple. Now you can use fresh pineapple if you like, and to be honest with you, I do like fresh pineapple better, but this has been sitting in the pantry and had to go. It's so funny, my mouth is watering right now. It's hard to talk. This is good. Not too much. Not too much.
Pavlov's dog or whatever.
So we're going to take a little bit of the Sailor Jerry rum and pour it over our fruit. Now, oftentimes you'll see it in garde-manger and stuff where you'll use dehydrated fruit and rehydrate it with booze. That's plumping because you can imagine it sucking it up. You know, so there'll be a little plumping going on here, but I want that big, bold flavor of the booze. So we've got pineapple. Let's go in with a little Coco Lopez, and then we're going to go in with a little light brown sugar. Remember, this is going to be the glaze for the ribs. And then I want to add a little bit more fat content, which is going to be that softened butter here. And we're going to paint that on top of the rack and wrap it in a nice bit of parchment paper, but that's going to glaze up nice. Beautiful. Butcher paper. There we go.
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Let's take a look at these gorgeous ribs. Oh my gosh. Like that's almost there, to be honest with you. Oh yeah. And you hear say it time and time again, the aromas are just off the chain. And now we're gonna go on with our coconut, brown sugar, rum, pineapple. Wow. And that's gonna impart a lot of flavor, right? And that was the most difficult part about the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, ribs are super simple. Playing the wind, you know, a little bit today, good and stormy, but great day for ribs. Okay, so that Lipton, the sweet heat going on, the tropical flavors, there's a lot going on here, but super simple things. Methods, people. All right, we're gonna shut the dome here and let it go for another 30 minutes. It's been roughly 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and give it a flip and finish it up. Probably another 20, 30 minutes to go. Just want to be probe tender. Those gorgeous bubbles are an indication of caramelization going on with that new glaze we have. Everything's tightening up and tautening up. Looks good. It's been another 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and bring it off and test for doneness. Woo, it's hot.
Imagine that.
Did just come off a 325 degree grill. Oh yeah. I can already tell, but there's just the way, you know, you've done this so many times, just the way the paper's set, you know, the caramelization. Oh my gosh, team.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, these look stunning. Oh my gosh. See how we've got bone show going on. I like to use this serrated utility when I go in there as well. So just a slight sawing motion. And so many times we cut these into individual ribs. But when I'm serving them to family and friends, sometimes I like to just leave it in 3 to 4 bone pieces, sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a pile of bones there. And the chef in me just needs a little bit of texture. Of contrasting color. We could always garnish this with kind of deconstruct the idea and do like pineapples in there if we wanted to. Bits of shaved coconut would be a lovely garnish in a restaurant. I see them. I mean, it's so thick. Look, that was a 4-pound rack of baby backs. I'm chunky. I'm gonna stand them up, and again, I like to use that serrated knife because it doesn't tear. Oh, dude, succulent. I'm not gonna do the Instagram thing where you squeeze it and all the juice comes out, because that juice should be in the bite. So if you're into doing that, stop it. All right, there we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Smoke ring too, eh? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Wow. Yo. Everything's coming through. The coconut, the pineapple, the brown sugar, the rum. That is fabulous. I love how the textural contrast of the crunchy exterior and then that big meaty center just I mean, it transports you, right? I'm at a loss for words kind of as I'm trying to expound upon this or wax poetically, but that is just a beautiful, beautiful bite. Team, if you enjoyed this lovely rib as much as I enjoyed that bite right there, do me a favor, do all the things, like, subscribe, do leave us a comment. We absolutely love reading those and responding back. And as always, from our backyard to yours, cheers and happy grilling.